All right, assignment 2.2. Assignment 2.2, and we're off to the races. All right, so let's look at our variables. A is 4, B is -8, and C is 20. All right, so what we're going to do, A is -4, B is -8, C is 20. I'm just going to write it over here because I always tell everyone to rewrite it just so you can lock it into your brain. See, if you're anything like me, hopefully you're not, but if you're anything like me, I need to expose myself to something a couple of times before it makes sense. All right, so we're going to solve these problems and we're going to use Desmos. All right. So we go to Desmos and I go to desmos.com/scientific. That's the one I like the best. Desmos.com/scientific, which is right here. The reason I choose scientific is because the scientific calculator seems to work best for me. Okay. Cool. All right. So now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clear all. You saw how I did that, right? Clear all. And then we're going to go to the ABC, those ABC buttons, because once we hit the ABC button, you'll see the letters like a regular typewriter populate. And so A equals, I'm going to click back to main, A equals 4. Hit the equal sign right here. All right, so A equals 4. Now the Desmos calculator knows that A equals 4. I click A, B, C again. B equals, I'm going to click main, -8. Okay, so now the calculator knows that B equals -8, and we're going to go back to A, B, C. A, B, C. C equals, I'm going to hit main again, 20. All right. So now the calculator knows that A equals 4, B equals -8, C equals 20. All right. So let's go back to the problems now. Okay. All right. So this one says the number one, we're working on number one, the absolute value of AB, which is absolute value of A times B. So I go back to Desmos and I type in, now here's something you may want to take advantage or at least pay attention to, okay? Right here is the absolute value key. Absolute value key is right there, okay? So we're going to hit the absolute value key and then we're going to type in, go back to ABC, A, B, go back to main, hit the absolute value key, and the answer is right there. Do you see the answer? I'm going to highlight the answer in money green. You know, money green, moneda, moneda, money green, moneda verde. Okay, money green, 32. The answer is 32. So now I can go back here and I can write in 32. Can I write that in? Let's see. 32. I can. Hey, perfect. Good. Okay, so now let's do number 2. It's 2b squared divided by 4, which is 2 times b squared divided by 4. And I told you I like writing everything out so it kind of sticks with me. Okay, so the problem is 2b squared divided by 4. Good. Now let's go to Desmos and we're going to now we're going to keep the A, we're going to keep all of that in there. So the last answer is there, AB, you know, the absolute value of A and B, it's there. But now since I hit clear all, didn't want to do that. Now, you know what I have to do? I have to type it back in. So A equals what? What does A equal? A equals 4. A equals 4. If you hit clear all, it'll mess you up. So don't hit clear all. All right, so B equals B equals a negative number, right? B equals -8. And C, because we're doing A, B, and C, and C equals 20. If you don't hit clear all, then you don't mess it up. But now we can start over. All right. So our problem is now 2 times b squared divided by 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the fraction button first. I'm going to hit this fraction button first. Here's the fraction button. Where is the fraction button? Here it is, the fraction button. You see it has a over b, or numerator over denominator. Good. All right, so I'm going to hit the fraction button to create a fraction. And now I'm at the top of the fraction, so I'll type in 2, and then I'll go to ABC, hit B. Now, isn't B squared? Yes, so we have to hit the squared button. We have to hit the squared button. Here's the squared button. So we're going to hit that squared button. Boom. Oops. Let me go back. Where's the back button? Back, 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 back. I'm going to square that number. Good. So now we have 2b squared. And what number goes on the bottom? A 4. So now we can look at the money green, and the answer is 32. The answer is 32. 32. All right. Let's do number 3. All right. Let's do number 3. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it like I told you before. C times the cube root. You know, when it's a little 3 there, it's a cube root of -27. Okay. All right, so that's a 7. That's a 7. Maybe that looks better that way. Okay. So now we're going to go to Desmos. And I'm just going to hit this button right here. Or I can hit clear. And if I hit clear, it'll just clear this bottom part. Okay. Now, if I hit clear all, it gets rid of all of this. And I want to keep the A equals 4, B equals -8, C equals 20. I want to keep the variables and their values. So I'm not going to hit clear all. But now we're going to do C times the cube root of -27. So go to ABC, C, okay, go back to main. And now I can do this button, and this button is so important. This button here, because that allows you to do the radical sign and put whatever index you want. So look, when I say the radical sign and whatever index you want, this part is the radical sign. That's the radical. And this is the index. It could be a 3, or, you know, your index could be 5. All right. But in most cases, we're going to have either a 2 or a 3 there. So if your index is 2, we call it square root. Or we don't have it there at all, and it's just called square root. If there's no 2, if there's no index, we assume it's a number 2 and it's a square root. But if it's a 3, it's a cube root. C-U-B-E, like ice cube. We call it a cube root. Okay, so right now it's cube root. So we're going to be working with a cube root. All right, so C times the cube root. And the reason we click this button here is it allows us to put in the index first, And now we click right here and we can type in -27. And then we can click right here just to come out of the radical. But if you look under the money green, we have the number -60. -60, okay? So now we can go back to our problem here, number 3, and we can type in, the answer is going to be -60. Now I'm using Word. That's one of the reasons why I keep deleting stuff, okay? So I just helped you with, ooh, is it the assignment? I shouldn't have helped you with the assignment. Maybe I messed up. So when you look back through, now we can do the math review, but we did the answer. All right, so what we're doing, we're going to now do solving for two-step equations. And your problems are going to be 5, 6, 7, and 8. But I'm not going to solve those problems for you. I'm going to use these examples to help you solve the problem. So as you see on the left here, it says undo addition and subtraction. And then it says undo multiplication. So your first step in solving these types of problems is first to do the undo the addition and subtraction. And so here's a little symbol. Here's a little story that must be told. Old hip hop song. All right. You've probably never heard that song before. Okay, so we have addition, and addition is that plus symbol. The opposite of addition, is subtraction. Okay. Now, the opposite of multiplication, or since you're in high school now, we don't even deal with the X anymore because X can be a letter. So for multiplication, what we do now in high school for multiplication, and if you go to the military or if you go into college, you're going to use a little dot, okay? And the opposite of multiplication is division. Okay? All right, good. So let us move on. 3x minus 2 equals 10. Now, what are we solving for? We're solving for the variable. What's the variable? The variable is x. We don't know what x is, so we're solving for x. We're solving for the variable. So here is the variable, 3x. So keep in mind, 3x is really 3 times x. So this is 3 times x minus 2 equals 10. We want to find out what x is. So the first thing that we're going to do, the very first thing, number 1, is we're going to undo addition and subtraction. So let's look at the addition. I see 3 times x minus 2. Now, minus 2 and negative 2 are the same thing. So somebody read 3x negative 2 equals 10. It's the same thing. All right. What's the opposite of subtraction? The opposite of subtraction is addition. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So what we're going to do is add 2 to both sides of the equation. Okay, let's put down a little equal sign here. All right, so we'll put down the equal sign. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So now we have 3x, and we'll say plus 0. All right. Now, let's go with the 0. -2 plus 2 is 0. Look, if you owed somebody $2 and you paid them $2, if you owed them $2, -2, you paid them $2 plus 2, now you owe them nothing, 0. So you don't even have to write the 0. So you just have 3x. Now, $10 plus 2. Let's say you had $10 and your father gave you $2, or maybe your mother gave you $2, your uncle gave you $2, or your best friend gave you $2. Somebody gave you $2. So that's 10 plus 2, and that's 12. So now we have 3x equals 12. Okay, we first did the addition or subtraction. In this case, it was subtraction. Now we need to do the multiplication. We need to undo the multiplication. So 3x is really 3 times x. So what's the opposite of multiplication? It's division. It's division. So we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. So our answer is 1x, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. And here's the beautiful thing. If it's 1x, we don't need the 1. We just get rid of the 1. So it'll just be x. And 12 divided by 3, well, let's say you don't have in your mind, the answer to that. So you might do 12 divided by 3, and the answer is 4. So now you can go back here and say, well, x is 4. So now the answer here is 4. That's how we solve that problem, okay? That's how we solve that problem. So that's what you're going to do with the remainder of these problems. So I say to you, good luck and do